Hi, I'm Nathalie, and in this video I'm going to talk about how everything happens for a reason. And I'm going to take some examples. Um, I just get nervous. I guess it will pass. Um, so, one example. Shit. Okay. I don't know where to begin. When I had a burnout, when I was depressed and everything, how I started to sing. I mean, I always loved singing, but I never really sang on a regular basis, even though I always loved to do it because I didn't really have like a way to do it. And I did make a video about this, so I'm sorry if you already listened to that, but it's not going to be about that. But yeah, I did sing some a little bit when I was a child, and then I just never really did consistently, like I said. But I guess when I was depressed and I was in a period where I was drinking every night, because I already also made a video about my burnouts. So if you haven't seen that, maybe that will help you understand who I am and where I come from. A lot has happened since I made that video though. And I understand a lot more and better since then. Just want to point that out. But yeah. So something weird happened. I mean, the coincidences. I met someone, we became friends. It was funny the way we met because it was just such a weird way to meet. But I'm not going to get into that. But I think like these things happen for a reason. And this person is a medium and does tarot. And so he read my tarot, he read my cards. And it was very enlightening and spot on. And I mean, I look back at that now and it really made sense, even looking at it now. And I understand them better now. I just have to drink a little bit. What's funny is he sings. And so because he was singing, I started singing a little bit and I recorded something that I posted on Instagram. It was just a Bob Dylan song. And yeah, it was no video or anything like now. But yeah, and one day and I was outside and walking and I got a text on Instagram from this agent, manager, I don't know, agent from Swedish Idol, who asked me if, I guess they reach out to people who sing, who asked me if I wanted to audition or want to send in my audition for the program and everything. And then right after I saw that message, I got a text from my friend who said, can I ask you something weird? And I was like, yeah, of course. And he asked if my grandma died, and I said yes. And he asked if she ever gave me a necklace, yes. And if a heart, and she did. I have a heart necklace, golden heart necklace from my grandma. And he said she wants me to wear it. And I have to say that I always knew my grandma, she's always been with us since she passed. She was probably spiritual person, not really talking about it much, but pretty sure. Anyway, I know she's with me. I've had more signs. Anyway, yeah, so that really felt like to me, like she was telling me to do the audition for Swedish Idol because she loved to sing and she wrote songs and she sang. We spent the summers at her house in France every year since I was a child. So I spent a lot of time with her. And she used to sing all the time in the bathroom, and she showed me her songs, and she told me that I was going to sing her songs when I got older, which I haven't, because I don't know where they are. But it would be cool. Anyway, so I took that as a sign that I had to do the audition, and it's because of that that I saw that I had already seen the ad for Smule. It's a karaoke app that I used to sing. And because of that, I felt, shit, I need to practice because I have serious stage fright. And so that's why I started singing on Smule. And it was like this big challenge for me, but I learned pretty fast too. I mean, I guess I am often very nervous about new things, like talking outside. Now this is not the first video. I don't know in which order I will post these videos. Maybe not the order that I recorded them, but in the first one I say that I'm going out of my comfort zone again. But I'm starting to get used to it already. It's like the third day I try it. So that's cool. Not. Don't forget what you were saying. Yeah, so that's how I started singing on Smule. And I think that was the point. I did do the audition for Idol 2, which was challenging. And I did go one step further to like a video interview stuff thing. And I was a little bit on TV for like 4 seconds. It was funny because they cut it. So it was like, I'm Nathalie, no children, rock and roll, something like that. 30 years old, no children, rock and roll. I didn't say it like that, but that's how they showed it. Anyway, yeah. And I was at the Smule app there are groups, and I was recruited into a group. I was like, I didn't want to be in the group and all because I didn't want to have like a badge, because they have mandatory badges in some groups, and in this one it was, and I was like, no, I don't need to be in a group because I'm good. But I was recruited, and she sold it to me. The girl, she's a cool girl. I liked her. I mean, I like her, but I mean, at the time that it was because I liked her, and she convinced me that it would be a fun thing to be in a group. And so I was like, okay, I'll try it. And while I was in that group, they had this designer, and there was something that happened, and she left the group or something like that, and then they needed help with the badges. And since I was a graphic designer, I was like, I can help with the badges and just updating their badges that I already had. But while I did that, I had my own ideas for my own badge, my own group name, which was Rock and Crew. Crew because Motley Crue and Rock and Crew, and yeah. And I felt so passionate about my idea, and I made a badge. And it was so different from the group that I was in, which was a lot darker design and all that. And I don't feel like that's really me. So, because I'm a more colorful, energetic, uplifting. Like I like the energetic rock that is uplifting and happy and colorful more than the black metal and stuff. I do sing that for fun, but that's not my jam. I'm a party rock or power metal. Yeah, that's more like fire. So that's how I started Rock and Crew, which has been my baby for 7 years, and we had members from all over the world, and like it's a community that I built, and which has grown the thing is, and that's how I figured out that I am actually a good leader. I would never have figured that out. And in Rock and Crew, we make covers. I organize, but it grew bigger and bigger. Like we did birthday songs, and then we started rewriting the birthday songs, and so I've rewritten like 100 songs, at least. And and the more the more elaborated our projects were, and the group, and we needed more and more organization. So I was learning that I am actually great at organizing stuff. I didn't see myself like that because I'm not very uh, picky. Like I'm not an organized type of person, because I'm a bit scatter-minded, and like I need. That's the thing. I need to organize my ideas. And I have great ideas in how to organize things. So I'm great at figuring out ways to organize things, and like visualizing stuff, and the group songs. I'm great at visualizing something, and like beforehand, and organizing, and they will sound good there, and I can picture, yeah. So I realized I was good at all that. And while rewriting all the songs, I've learned like song structure, and just coming up with how to fit lyrics and stuff like that. So which is good now when I have started to write my own songs. And also the whole thing, just building that community. I think that I'm supposed to do something on. I've learned so much. And I think that I'm supposed to do my own thing with something. I know, like I've proven to myself, like by accident, that I'm capable of building something like that. It's a trademark. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. I mean, it's pretty cool. And a lot of things happened. Like I was in a bad place, but I realized that I was always protected, because even in the worst moments I've been protected. I mean, very bad things have happened to me, but I needed to learn. I mean, if you protect somebody from all the bad things, they never learn. And then it's what we call in Swedish björntjänst. It's like a fake service, because then you never learn. I did make a video yesterday where I talk about learning to dance with the demons and stuff. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into that again, because I guess I'll post it, but not sure which order I will post things. And I did watch back some of the stuff. I think it's not really covering everything that I wanted to say to properly convey the idea. So you might have to look back and not lose my train of thought. That's not important here. Okay. Where was I? Things happen for a reason. And I studied, when I was in my early 20s, I moved to France. I'm half French. I'm born in Sweden and grew up in Sweden, but spent my summers in France at my grandma's, like I mentioned. And I always wanted to move to France, because I never felt like I belonged in Sweden. And then when I was in France, I never felt like I belonged in France. So I never really felt like I belonged anywhere or everywhere. Or, it's I can fit in anywhere. I feel like I can fit in anywhere because I'm able to adjust, adapt. I have many different facets, so I can bring out different. This is getting, but it's interesting as an empath. I've felt so many different feelings, and like I can feel a vibe. And so I understand many different vibes. But it's not, and sometimes I didn't understand that it wasn't my own. But now I understand better that, yeah, that's what they say also about to become who you truly are, you have to unbecome what you're not. But what was I talking about? Yeah. So I moved to France and I was in a relationship, so I was stuck. I'm not going to go into details about the relationship, even though my mind kind of goes there. Anyway, so I wanted to study, and I wanted to study graphic design, and I got into a school in France and everything, but it was so complicated for me to organize how to get there every day, and I couldn't move because I was with my boyfriend, and it was just very complicated, and so I decided to study how to say distance school from Sweden instead. So, and the option that was available for me at the time was web development, and that's not really what I want. But I was like, yeah, I can do that because I can do. When I was 14, I learned a bit of coding because I wanted to make a web. I'm like that. I wanted to make a website, so I just figured out how to do it. So I learned how to say it in English, HTML, CSS already when I was 14, and it was all new internet and everything. They didn't even have Facebook yet. It was before all that. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, I like coding, so I can do that. And so I studied web development. And I've worked a bit in web development, and that's when I had my burnout. But it's not because of it's not. It was a lot of circumstances, which I talk about in my burnout video. I can link it. But that's another thing. It has taught me a lot to know how to code and understand coding, especially in JavaScript. I don't know how to say it in English, so I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. JavaScript. Because you probably heard of algorithms, and it's like algorithms are loops. That is asking questions, and if it's true, this will happen, and if it's false, this will happen, or the loop goes back. It iterates. So that's very interesting because I think that's how life works as well. Like when you want to do something, like you're getting prepared for it by a lot of things that happen in your life. Like for example, if you want to become something, I don't want to make it personal, so but I only come up with personal examples. The loop will ask if you're ready for if this is true, this will happen. If this is true, this will happen. And so if you're not ready, then the thing is not true. This is so hard to explain. And if it's not true, you're not ready, the loop goes back again. So like if you're not ready for, like let's say your soulmate, the right person, something will happen. You will get into maybe another relationship where you will struggle and you will learn something. This goes. You will learn something because, for example, me in my relationships, I needed to learn big lessons about boundaries for myself and about self-worth, about self-love, and not putting the other person before myself all the time, and not forgiving having self-respect enough to not forgive whatever, and not to self-sacrifice. Like if I would get into a relationship with the right person when I hadn't learned all that, I would still mess it up because I would self-sacrifice and I would not be happy even if it's the right person. Yeah, this is... Where did I start with this? I mean, yeah, it's everything happens for a reason. So even the really bad relationships, I'm thankful and grateful for because I've learned a lot. And I probably could have learned it faster, but I didn't. So the loop went back to, did she learn this? False. Go, start over. Let's go back. So, yeah, interesting. So I guess that was what I wanted to say. I mean, I could go on. Let me check because I did take notes, but they are long. It's like blah 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 blah. Yeah. I think this is probably good to stop here. And I'm gonna make another video about something else, I guess. Okay, so thank you for listening. I hope this kind of helped some. I mean, I hope this brought you some sort of value. And if it did, feel free to like the video and share it if you like. And if you're still here until the end, you can put a sun emoji in the comments. Okay, thank you for listening and see you next time.